is Carrie.
My name is Rainy.
My name is Lillian.
My name is Ivy.
And my name is Alyssa.
Okay, let me start with a question. How many of you have an Apple product? Please raise your hand. Okay. In 2023 alone, Apple sold over 200 million iPhones. Apple is not just a company, but a phenomenon and a legend. As Steve Jobs said, innovation distinguishes between the leader and the follower. And we know Apple is the leader for decades. So let's explore the amazing world of Apple. Okay. That is our content, and we will introduce it in these several parts. The first part is vocabulary. Electronics. We will introduce electronics devices like smartphones using electrical circuits. Innovation. Innovation, it means like creative and new ideas. Core competition. Core competencies. Companies' unique strengths. Market capitalization. Total value of a company's share. Establishment. Establishment, it means like founding. Okay. Market competition. Market competition is regular among companies. Suppliers. Suppliers, it means like something providing goods. Okay. Saturated. Saturated is about high supply and competition.
Let me introduce the company in brief. Apple is an American multinational corporation and technology company headquartered and incorporated in Cupertino, California, in Silicon Valley. It was founded in 1976 by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Garney. And it is best known for its electronics, software, and online services, with innovative technology and quality design as its core competencies. And Apple's current product lineup includes portable and hardware, such as iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, and Apple TV. It also has the iPhone operating systems such as iOS, iPad OS, and Mac OS, and Apple II MacBook notebook computer, iPod music player, the iTunes Store, iMac machine, and so on. And it is the largest company in the world by revenue with 3,832.9 billion in 2023. It was one of the most valuable brands in the world. It's also the world's largest company by market capitalizations, and it's also the largest manufacturing company by revenue. It's also the largest vendor of mobile phones in the world. And this picture shows the stock market value from today. It's about $242.
And next, I will report the founder of Apple, which has a total of 3 founders. Firstly, the well-known Stephen Paul Jobs. He was interested in computers and electronic devices from a young age. And he once joined a computer club in high school, where he met Stephen Wozniak. And later, they co-founded Apple with Wayne. In 1985, after a long power struggle with the computer's board of directors and the CEO Scully, he left Apple. In 1986, he founded Next, dedicated to developing high-end computers, and participated in the founding of Picture Animation, which later produced many movies such as Toy Story and Incredibles and Finding Nemo. And in 1996, he returned to Apple and launched iMac, iPad, iPhone, and iPad. The fourth generation iPhone 4 sparked a sales boom. Steve Jobs also served as a board member of Gap from 1999 to 2002. His health problems were diagnosed as pancreatic cancer in 2003 and removed in 2004, recurred in 2006, and he died in 2011. And next is Stephen Gary Wozniak. He is a Polish American computer engineer with a bachelor degree in electrical engineering and computer science from 1987. He created the Apple I and Apple II in the middle of 1970s. And the Apple II became popular and the best-selling personal computer of the 1970s and early 1980s. In 2018, he announced departure from Facebook. In 2021, he announced the establishment of his own space company, Privater Space. Then came the Ronan Gerald Whalen. He was an American too, and he provided the administrative supervision and documentation for Apple. He created the first illustration of the Apple logo and also wrote the Apple I manual. But later, due to the financial risk concern, he sold his 10% stake for $800. Currently, Tim Cook is the CEO. He was joined Apple in 1988. By Steve Jobs as Senior Vice President of Global Operations. After joining Apple for 4 years, he began leading both the sales and operation teams and became the elective Vice President of Global Sales and Operations. During Steve Jobs' resignation due to surgery in 2004, he managed Apple on his behalf for 2 months. Subsequently, Jobs handed over global sales to Cook before Steve Jobs returned to the company. He caused Apple's stock price to rise by about 70%, winning the trust of investors in one fell swoop. Cook hosts the press conversation for the first time and released the iPhone 4.
And now we're going to look at the magnificence and superpower of the company. The first one is seamless ecosystem integration. So we all know that Apple has a lot of almost every aspect of 3C products such as iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and Apple Watch, AirPods, and Apple Pencil. If you want to buy the TV, a battery holder, or even a VR equipment, you can just go to an Apple store. Users can use this AirDrop to sync their data and continue their task without hassle. And the second one is high-quality apps. The App Store is known for its strict app review process, ensuring users can use secure and high-quality apps. And developers always that prioritize iOS system over other platforms for launching their newest apps to make more money. And next is a robust security. Security is a hallmark of the iPhone, featuring hardware-based security features such as Face ID and Touch ID. And there is a video to show how they work.
The iPhone X, some are concerned about the security with Apple's new Face ID unlocking process. But should you really be worried about the switch from Touch ID to Face ID? Apple Insider digs deeper to explain why you shouldn't fear facing the future. There are already videos of people tricking Face ID with elaborate masks, but logically, this is not a realistic concern for the overwhelming majority of users who have an iPhone X. As with Touch ID, all Face ID data stays on a unique chip inside your iPhone X called a secure enclave, so there's no way anyone can hack your data from the cloud. Apple has admitted that twins can fool Face ID, so you might need to beware in the unlikely event that you have an evil twin. Some Apple Insider viewers have also expressed concerns that Face ID might work by putting sunglasses on somebody else who is sleeping. Those people simply do not understand how Face ID on the iPhone X works. The True Depth camera's infrared sensors can penetrate sunglasses, so it can actually see if your eyes are open or closed and detect when your eyes are looking, even through mirrored sunglasses. This is used for Face ID's attention awareness feature, where the iPhone X won't unlock until it detects that your eyes are looking at your phone. Unlike with Face ID, where you're protected by the attention awareness feature, Touch ID has no such equivalent. If you have an older iPhone, someone could still unlock your Touch ID equipped device while you're sleeping by placing your finger on the Touch ID sensor. If you're conscious, attention awareness will also prevent unauthorized access, as a user whose iPhone X has been stolen can just avert their eyes to prevent it from being unlocked. If you're not concerned about somebody unlocking your iPhone X by holding it up to your face, you can turn this feature off in settings. This will help speed up the process of Face ID at the cost of some security.
Okay. After this video, I trust that you must know more about the Face ID and Touch ID. So we can see the next point, resale volume. If you sell your iPhone 15 Pro last month, you can still get about 5,000 yuan last month. So it's adventurous for those who want to update their devices frequently. And the last one is family sharing. I think that's the most important part, because if you and your family you are using Apple's products, you can just purchase one time and get all the. You can get the games, apps, or subscriptions without multiple times, buying multiple times. And if you are the parents of some children, you can easily to know how long they use their phones, their iPads, or any devices, and you can control their content accessible to prevent them from some malicious website.
Okay, after knowing about the magnificence of this company, let's talk about the struggles and challenges of Apple. The first question was high price. We all know that the prices of the product is generally higher. It limited the purchasing power of some users. This is a comparison of the price of iPhone and Huawei. We can see that even the 256G iPhone 50 Pro was nearly 1,000 yuan higher than the 1 TB Huawei Mate 60 Pro. The second one is fierce market competition. With Huawei, Samsung, and other similar industries are also developing rapidly. Apple's product line is too dependent on iPhone, which poses the risk of market saturation and increased competitions. This picture is about the revenue situation of Apple from the third quarter in 2023 to the second quarter in 2024. On the morning of August 2nd Beijing time, Apple released its financial report for the third quarter of this fiscal year, 2024.
during which the company achieved total revenue of $85.777 billion, a year-on-year increase of 5%, the highest second quarter in history. Almost all of these excellent financial figures were higher than the consensus estimate, but China fell to 6.5% to $14.73 billion, becoming Apple's only major market for decline. According to IDC, Apple's iPhone shipment fell to 50.1 million units in the first quarter of 2024. It's a sharp drop of nearly 10% from 55.4 million units in the same period last year. On the contrary, its rival Samsung regained its position as the number one with 16.1 million units and a market share of 20.8%. What's more, depending on a few suppliers, Apple served challenges. Unlike other computer companies, Apple has always used the sea of machines tactics to attract users. Instead, it greatly simplifies the complexity of the supply chain and more accurately controls production process. Every year, the most famous consultant, Gartner, selects 25 companies with the best supply chain management, while Apple has won the honor of supply chain master for 10 consecutive years. But under the COVID-19, such a strong supply chain capacity has become a constraint for Apple, and even led it into a serious supply chain crisis. Since most of Apple's supply chain is located in China, China has been plagued by the epidemic, so the resumption of work has been slowly and shipment has been greatly affected. In March, iPhone in Europe even ran out of stock. Last but not least, the changes in laws and policies also caused a big problem to Apple. Please turn your gaze towards this picture. On September 11, 2024, the European Union's Supreme Court of Justice issued a heavy ruling asking Ireland to recover as much as 30 billion euros in taxes from Apple. And earlier this year, Apple was fined 1.8 million euros by the European Union for its dominance in music streaming market. So what caused the European Union to make this ruling? I think it's because of the Apple tax. So it's already here. So what is Apple tax? The software developers can only push subscriptions or buy services to users through the Apple Store, and Apple will take a 30% commission from it. So Apple has allegedly banned the app from offering cheaper subscription to iPhone users, violating EU legal rules governing antitrust competition in the streaming music market. And in a word, it's all for antitrust. The fine is not just a digital loss, but is more likely to affect Apple's shareholder value and its future market strategy. So what can Apple do to overcome these challenges? Here are some solutions. The first one is increase investment in the field of AI, strengthen the construction of ecosystem with partners and improve users' experience. And another one is expand the market, like India and China, which still have a development potential.
And next is the future outlook. In the next decade, Wall Street predicts a shift in Apple's competition from Google to Meta as the smartphone market saturates and focus moves to AR and MR headsets. Both companies are launching products aimed at shaping the future of the metaverse, and experts expect fierce competition in AR, VR, smart home, and digital services. As iPhone and Android sales decline, Apple's group strategy is shifting towards AR/MR devices and soft services at the 2023 WWDC. Apple introduced the Vision Pro AR/MR headset, which feature advanced technology and intuitive natural input, making its first foray into spatial computing and transforming the surrounding environment into an interactive canvas. And this is our references. Let's just take a quick look. The above is our report. Thank you.